First things first, we have to talk about how different news outlets really screwed up the reporting this weekend. I mean, they put everybody else on this helicopter too. And apparently TMZ broke the news before the family was even notified. So what was your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think TMZ is just so thirsty to be the first outlet to have breaking news. Like, I found out Ghost died on Power before Power even came out. You understand? Like, they already reported that.
Is it? And it's not really even just TMZ, it's everybody.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like an expert. Everyone wants to be like, they have the scoop, right? So even your friends, like I was getting text messages that put other people on the copter that weren't there. Then I'm thinking like, I'm sharing, doing something, and it's like, as much as we say we're not going to do that anymore, we just do.
Right, and that's the culture we live in now, in the sense that, you know, we're in the digital age. Everyone's trying to make a name for themselves. News is readily available to everyone. You don't have to rely on the television. I mean, I heard the same way. Someone told me over their phone at a conversations at a Grammy event, and then you were Googling it, and it wasn't even coming up on Google yet.
Well, TMZ was the only source at the time, but I think that, you know, there were a few major news outlets that I was shocked at that even made mistakes, because everybody is in a rush to be the first to break things and to, it seems like that journalism has taken a shift within recent years where people are just kind of attributing things to sources without giving exact names, but they don't have an exact name to give it to because there is no source. It's kind of like people are pulling things out of a hat, just trying to be the first to run something.
And that's why you have to watch fake news, because I also had heard that Rick Fox was on the plane.
I tweeted that too.
That wasn't even the case,
Right, and it's like, imagine what his family must have thought if they follow any of us or they saw it on Twitter.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like...
It's like some of these outlets have become like a high school lunchroom. You know, it's just like, let's get that rumor out before sixth period.
Yeah.
Like, let's get it out.
In fairness, there were so many conflicting reports. We didn't even know that it was a total of 9 people until the press conference that happened at 2:30 p.m.
Right.
So we had this whole morning where things were just kind of bouncing off the walls. Like, I had to take a break from Twitter personally because, like you mentioned, the Rick Fox thing. I had read that all 4 of his daughters. Then I read that none of them, and Vanessa. Like, there were so many different conflicting reports. Like, I took a step back because I was waiting for official confirmation or for something to be debunked.
And I'll say the worst thing that I heard was the one reporter, I don't know if it's fact or if it's fiction, but she definitely slipped up and described me, and she said, we're now going the Los Angeles...
You can say it.
She said the Los Angeles niggers. Like, she flat out threw the ER in there, no hesitation, and then tried to say, Lakers. We're like, we heard you the first time.
Well, I think personally, I do not think that was intentional. I think that was an honest flub, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I just feel like she is so used to saying the Knicks because she was broadcasting out of New York City, and Kobe's tragic passing was just such a shell shock. Like, it still doesn't even feel real. It's been over 24 hours. For me personally, it still doesn't even feel real. She's not someone who's like a sports journalist, and this was breaking news. She was probably having producers yell in her ear, and I just don't think that flub was intentional, personally.
She still fucked up, though.
She did. She did. No. I'm not taking away from that.
Los Angeles niggas.
I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying I don't think that it was intentional where we have to pull out the pitchforks and the torches for this.
So she mixed Knicks with Lakers, and I don't know.
That was a bullshit excuse.
Combine the words.
I don't know that to be true. I'm just saying I think that it was a flub.
Okay, this is what I think. Listen, I cuss a lot. When you cuss a lot, it's easy for it to slip on out. So she probably says nigga a lot.
She might.
That's what I think. I don't think she meant to say it then because she's gonna probably lose her job. If not, she's definitely getting harassed right now on the internet.
Oh, she is. There are petitions calling for her to be removed from her position.
And I will say this. I mean, as someone that does this, I flub all the time. I have a little CTE from all my little concussions from my weekends in Vegas. That's a whole nother show. But another time.
Tell him, Claudia.
Okay, you know, BJ. But like, it is easy to slip and say something. I think she should have just said, look, I messed up.
Yeah.
And that's it. But like, when you try to say I combined the Knickers.
She didn't say that. That's me. That's
no,
me.
but I saw it. But that's.
Oh, she did say
I think that was...
She said niggers.
Oh.
Yeah, she did.
I think she...
Yeah, it was tweeted out. It was her official explanation.
Oh, so she did admit to Knicks, is what you're saying.
She said she was trying to combine the Knickers with, they don't even really call them the Knickerbockers or whatever. And the Lakers.
They need to change that team name, first of all, because that's just
that's too close,
too close anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, the outrage that we felt about, you know, her saying the Los Angeles niggas, can you imagine what Vanessa Bryant is going through right now? Like
No, I
that's
can't.
the part that was getting me all weekend. Like just her husband and her daughter.
Yeah.
You can't.
And then she instantly put our page on private.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. And I was also wondering, what is, he's so young. Are his parents still alive? Because then they lost, a child and a grandchild at the same time. And then you think about all the other families that are on board as well. I mean,
There's a little girl that lost,
Tragic.
that's the sole survivor of her family. Her
Yeah.
mom, her dad, and her sister all perished in that crash.
Yeah.
That's sad. Yeah, I saw the names they released. Actually, the other victims.
It's still just so jarring. He was just starting. I'm not a basketball fan, but I paid attention to Kobe, and it seemed like he was just starting to really live his life outside of basketball. He won the Academy Award a few years ago. Like he had his production company. He was a champion for women in sports, probably because of the proximity to his daughter, and it just. The resume and the relevancy of it, I think, is just everybody thought it was a prank. Like,
and I was just with him 2 weeks ago. He hosted a Just Mercy premiere at Baldwin Cinemas.
Wow!
And it was my first time meeting him, but he was the nicest soul I had met in a long time. And I think that we're all impacted because I think we see him as an inspiration, and there's so many people who certainly, acknowledge and respect his game. But at the same time, I think he was such a light and an energy for so many Americans and so many people across the world.
And a real beacon of just dedication, hard work,
Yeah.
and literally kind of an American dream. You
Yeah.
you really put the hard work in, you're going to get
More than
results.
basketball.
Yeah, more than basketball. Within whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I hate though about this? I love all the great things that we're saying about him right now. But damn it, can we start doing this to each other when we're alive?
Yes.
Can we really? Because even with Nipsey, I didn't know Nipsey had this much love until he died.
I agree.
And he has been bombed since the beginning. And it's like, we talk so much shit about each other. We really do. Like this age of social media and Twitter and Instagram, it's everyday negativity and meanness and attacking our heroes. But we love them so much when they're gone. And it's like, I know I'm sure he would love to hear all this stuff when he was alive. I'm sure his wife would have loved to hear all this stuff when he was alive. And he did get praise. But when someone passes, then it's just like an outpouring. And if we can take anything from this situation, can we please just be nicer to each other while people are alive? Because it could happen to any one of us when we leave here tonight.
I agree. And I also think that's just awesome. I agree with you, Claudia. And I also think that's just also about the responsibility of the media. I feel like, when we go back to talking about, how it was leaked and how the news broke, I feel like, too often the media is ready to cover us in a negative light or talk about someone's affair or talk about someone's case. But I think he had so many other things going on that we could have been praising that I didn't even know about some of the activity that he had going on as a businesswoman, as a businessman, as a father, as a coach.
So was that the media or is it the consumer? Because if we didn't eat that stuff up right, like the blogs, can we post when someone feeds the homeless? Can we post when people are giving dresses away to girls that need to go to prom? Can we post when people are coaching their little girls' teams? But we will post allegations. We will post drama. We post a rumor before any facts. And when people are exonerated, we don't use that same energy. And I don't know. I'm just thinking bigger picture. You know what I mean?
Well,
And you're so right.
Yeah. I think what it does, it's like maybe there's some people that are envious of those people in those higher positions. So when they see something negative happen, they can't wait to sensationalize it because it's like, oh yeah, they're a human just like me. It kind of gives them some kind of edge over them.
Even though some people are worthy of critique, I don't want to absolve. Some actions are worthy of being reprimanded, and the public throwing tomatoes at people.
Tomatoes.
But, just figuratively speaking, not literally. But yeah, definitely sensationalism definitely drives the news because people do not, we could post about prom dress giveaways, we could post about, charitable things, but it's not going to drive, you won't get those same numbers as a fight or someone, yelling in Beverly Hills or something.
And the media is money driven now too.
The news is just really not the news.
Yeah.
Well, I do appreciate the people that are out there, trying to be positive about, other celebrities and giving people their flowers while they're here. Now, Kanye West decided to hold a midnight Sunday service out of respect for Kobe. are his choir members, like, are they just on call? Like,
They have to be at this.
Yeah.
Okay, let me jump on.
They got one of those big ass
They
church
have to
shuttles,
be.
which is 48 people in it at all times.
How
With
do we-
Yeezys on, right?
How do we feel about Kanye West doing this? Is he jumping on the bandwagon? Is it clout chasing, or is it sincere?
I think he's using his platform in a perfect way. He realizes he's the one that has this following that everyone's coming to in a positive light, you know, for these Sunday services. So he's like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to use my platform and really do something that our culture can respect, rather than letting somebody else take charge and like, oh, we're gonna do the production of this. We're gonna, you know.
Also, like I had seen highlights, you know, all of the celebrity like highlight reels are coming in, not directly from Kanye, but like from fan sites on Twitter. I've seen that he had a relationship with Kobe, at least a working one. They did an ad together. There's a photo of him of Kobe in the studio with Kanye.
So there was a
just hanging
personal
out.
relationship.
Yeah, so I think that it was something. When it comes to death and Kanye West, I feel like it's something that's just jarring for him, like it is for many of us, but it's just something particular about Kanye. And so I do think that this was from a genuine place. I don't feel like this was like anything bandwagony or publicity.
I even think that even in Kanye's craziest stunts, you know, that I think he's genuine. You know, even when he, you know, got up and interrupted Taylor Swift, I think he really believed Beyonce should have won the award.
I was with him, though.
I do.
I agree.
I agree as well.
The moment was, I mean, maybe the process, we didn't agree with that, but he was right.
Yeah, I agree. And so I think that, you know, as someone who is doing this Sunday service thing, and someone who has a relationship with Kobe, I think it's apropos that he would do something in this regard. And I think that, like you said, it was sincere and it was genuine. And why not?
Have any of you been to the Sunday service?
I've been on it. I've been to it on YouTube at Coachella time.
We all have
I
with
saw it through that little tiny peephole, you know.
That is true.
Yeah, like
I
you
have
were looking
not
through
been,
your
but I have friends that
apartment.
are in the choir. Friends and associates that have sang in that choir.
I wasn't feeling it at first, honestly, because I felt like he was getting so much heat from the Donald Trump affiliation and wrapping his arms around Donald Trump and letting Donald Trump basically pat him on the head. And I felt like that was a great way to get black people back on his team.
Yeah.
But in this way that is using his platform with Kobe Bryant and saying that, you know, knowing that he had a relationship, I'm with that.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my shade.
Black people always use God. You ever watch Apollo? That's the only way you can win Apollo, if you sing about God. That's all I want to say.
They can't boo you if you sing a gospel song.
I mean, that's a lot of things.
that's
I still,
right.
you know, I still side-eye Sunday service, but this specific instance for Kobe, thumbs up Kanye.
Got it, okay. Now, there was speculation about Jaden Smith and rapper Tyler, the Creator, being romantically involved. But suspicions escalated last night when Jaden tweeted, "My boyfriend just won a Grammy," when Tyler, the Creator, was on stage. Do you think there's anything to this? Or is he trolling us? What's going on?
This is nonsense, and I'm going to tell you why. This has been an ongoing joke between these two for years now, and I was so shocked when I woke up this morning and saw that legitimate sources, like legitimate media outlets, were picking this up and running with it. But it goes back to what we were talking about earlier about sensationalism, because people were not framing it in a romantic way, even if it were to be true. They weren't framing it in a romantic way. They were framing it in a salacious way. And I just think this is a joke. It's so obviously a joke because of what we've seen in the past with them. This is a running joke. They
How
are
do
not
you feel
dating.
about people using gayness as a trolling mechanism? Like, I'm going to use this for, you're like, is it just...
Assuming that's what it is.
Well, it seems like there's a few people that have been doing this, right? That they like to put it out there, like, am I or am I not? Is that disrespectful to the community to do this? To pretend for, I don't know, some clicks?
I think it depends.
Who's pretending? That's what I say.
Do you have some tea?
I don't have any tea.
I feel like I smelled a pot of tea. I heard a pot of tea brewing.
I don't have any tea. I don't think, I don't put anything past anybody.
Me either.
I mean,
Especially in this industry.
You're a publicist, so you've got to keep the secrets from a lot of people, haven't you?
I know a lot of secrets.
Are there some shocking, I'm not asking you who just yet, but are there some shocking people that we would never, like, think they are, and we're like, no way.
Totally.
Really? So we're going to go for drinks after this? You can tell me?
You know, I tell you anything off camera.
Okay,
Of
all
course,
right, all right. So what do we think about this
I was just gonna say. I mean, honestly, like Jaden Smith and Tyler, the Creator, are like two of the people that I feel like are not even from this I feel like they're from the future. I think that they're both sitting back, and in the future, gay means like I'm still humanoid. You know, it's like I'm not a robot yet. I don't know. You know, they're just so in another Like I feel like I'm trying to catch up to Jaden Smith. Like I might have to dye my hair pink next week to be relevant. You know.
Right.
And to be honest, if it is a joke or if it is just for trolling, and I will say that I don't think it's offensive, because I think what they're doing is I think they are progressive and they are pushing boundaries with it. And I think that we as African Americans need to be more open and more accepting. And if this is a way of generating that conversation, then so be it. Our community is culturally behind.
But how can we get mad when people like Rachel Dolezal, when she pretended to be black, right? We were mad as hell about that.
Now hold on, because I was about to say, I think that with the Jaden and Tyler thing as it relates to Rachel, it's the whole impact versus intent thing. Because they are not outwardly causing harm, I don't see an issue with...
Was Rachel?
Rachel was.
Yeah, because they're putting her in charge of things.
Rachel was taking up space.
But she was very pro-black. She was pro-black. She was way more pro-black than Stacey Dash.
But there's an actual black that's pro-black. What's in this? What is
She was.